وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. Assalamu alaikum everybody. In this third talk, inshallah, we will be speaking about the life and times of our fourth Imam, Imam Ali bin Hussein, Zayn Al-abedin. And I know that we have got only 8 sessions and we have got 12 Imams. So it might be difficult to perhaps do justice, of course, to their lives. But we will attempt to give some snapshots, inshallah, of the main salient aspects of their lifestyles in the hope that we get some understanding of who these personalities were. About Ali ibn Hussein alayhi salam, we have that he was born in Medina in 38 Hijrah on the 5th of Sha'ban. He was the second son of Hussein ibn Ali. About his mother, there is some difference of opinion, but the popular belief is that she was the daughter of the Persian king Yazdegerd. And we have 2 or 3 different reports that we can go into. The first is that following the final battle between the Muslims and the Persians, which happened in the Khilafat of Umar ibn al-Khattab, several captives were brought into Medina. Amongst them were some members of the royal family also. And these ladies were given a choice whether to remain in Medina or to go back to their land. So in Al-Kafi we have got that when Umar al-Khattab was examining the captives, this particular lady, she covered her face and she spoke something in the Persian language, and Umar al-Khattab asks, "Has she insulted me?" So Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam said no, but let her choose a person from among the Muslims and stay in Medina. And in Al-Kafi we have that this lady whose name, we have many versions of it, but Shahrabanu or Shahzanan. We have other names for her, Ghazala, Salama. This lady chose Hussein ibn Ali alayhi salam to be her husband. In other reports we have that her sister was there too, and she chose Hassan bin Thabit as her husband. We have slightly different report in Al-Irshad of Mufid, who says that yes, she was the daughter of Yazdegerd, and her name was Shahrabanuwiya. And the only difference being that they came into Medina at the time of the Khilafah of Amir al-Mu'mineen. That Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam had Hurayth bin Jabir al-Hanafi was his governor in the eastern provinces towards Persia. And they had, amongst the captives they captured, there were 2 women who were from the royal family, who had somehow been captured together. And Hurayth did not know what to do with them, because by that time Yazdegerd was dead and the Persian Empire was in ruins. So he sent them to Kufa. And one of these women, Shahzanan, married Hussein ibn Ali, and from him, from this marriage was born Ali Zayn Al-abedin. This seems to be the more plausible report. We will look at why in a minute. And then, of course, she had a sister who was married to Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr. And from that relationship was born Al-Qasim. Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr, if you do not know, is the son of Abu Bakr. But when Abu Bakr passed away, he was very young, only 3 years old. And Abu Bakr's widow, Asma bint Umayth, who had previously been married to Ja'far bin Abu Talib anyway and had gone for to the Hijrah in Abyssinia, she came into the household of Ali ibn Abi Talib. So Amir al-Mu'mineen married her, and Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was brought up by Amir al-Mu'mineen, and he would often say that Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr is my son, even though he is from the back of Abu Bakr. And this Muhammad ibn Abu Bakr was very close to Ahlul Bayt, very much attached to Al-Hasan and Al-Hussein, and of course was killed by Muawiyah, in a dispute about the governorship of Egypt, which is another story. The interesting thing is he had a son Al-Qasim, as we see, who is a maternal cousin of Imam Sajjad. And this Qasim had a daughter who was the mother of Imam Sadiq alayhi salam. And we do have other traditions, although they're not so popular, that she was a lady from Sindh, from India, or that indeed she was Walad, a slave mother. But most of the popular reports state that no, she was Persian in origin. She was from what is presently known as Iran. Now, tragically though, that she died very soon after the birth of her illustrious son, only 10 days from childbirth. After Imam Sajjad was born, his mother passed away. And most probably, actually, her grave is in Kufa, which is where Hassan and Hussein were living at that time, because at 38 Hijrah was when Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salam had moved his capital, or the capital of the Muslim Empire, from Medina to a more central location in Kufa. And for 5 years, the whole family actually lived in Kufa, and it was only when Hassan ibn Ali signed an agreement with Muawiyah to, if you like, abdicate his temporal power, that he decided to move back to Medina, and the whole family, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, moved back to Medina. But because this lady died at that particular time, she's buried in Kufa. You may have heard stories that she's buried in Rai. You may even have visited her tomb in Rai. I don't know if anybody has actually seen that. Outside Tehran, it's very famous. If you go to Iran, you will definitely, when doing the outside ziyarah in Tehran, you will visit the mountain place where you'll be told that this is the grave of Shahrabanu, the mother of Imam Sajjad and the wife of Hussein ibn Ali. It's very unlikely, actually, that she would actually be there, because the story that is behind it is a very romantic story, and a story that says that on the day of Ashura, Imam Hussein alayhi salam put her on a horse and said, "This horse will take you back to your own lands." And this horse took her all the way back to Iran, and there she died, and there she is buried, and all this. It's unlikely to be the case. But in any case, you will see that her tomb in Shahr Rai is visited very much, and there is a whole following of women, almost like nuns who have dedicated themselves to Shahrabanu, who visit every day, and it's very grand. They sing songs and make offerings and things. Very odd as well. So Imam Sajjad was born in Kufa. Actually was born, did I say Medina? He was born in Kufa, and he's buried in Medina on the 25th of Muharram in 95 Hijrah. So he's about just under 60, about 56, 57 years of age, where he is killed by the command or the order of the Umayyad Khalif Walid bin Abdul Malik bin Marwan, poisoned, and after a few days of painful illness, he passes away and is buried in Al-Baqi cemetery next to his uncle Al-Hassan, and that I'm sure many of you may have visited and seen.